I outgrew those rooms, and I had to be okay with being in this solitude space where the newer people that are supposed to come into my life, the newer opportunities that are going to be attracted in, they're going to be in alignment with my new identity. So I had to feel that grief that was involved with outgrowing the rooms that I once felt aligned with. Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to this episode. As you rise into a new level of leadership, there's a kind of pressure that naturally will come with it. There's more responsibility, more visibility, more discernment. And what I have learned is that this pressure, it isn't a sign that there is necessarily something wrong. It's a sign that your capacity is being asked to expand. As I've moved into this next season of leadership, I've noticed how much quieter it's become and how much more pressure I can feel holding. And it's not pressure in a chaotic kind of way, but in responsibility, capacity, and a standards way. Today, I want to talk about what I call the diamond standard of leadership. Because pressure, it isn't a problem, it is information that you're collecting as you feel it. There's a pressure of making fewer, more intentional decisions, the pressure of not reacting immediately anymore, and the pressure of holding long-term vision instead of that quick relief. When you grow, life asks more of you, more of that discernment, more of that restraint, more of that self-trust. In leadership, you're going to have to understand where you maybe don't need to be as reactive, where you really need to trust yourself more instead of outsourcing your decision making to others, which I have fallen into that trap before, where I would ask everyone else, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? Until I became the iconic woman. And I know deep down what I believe and what I feel is true, and I can trust myself. But for a very long time, I outsourced my own power because I didn't trust myself. Your capacity as a leader, it's built up through certain things happening in your life. It is not something that's to be forced. Leadership doesn't expand through your endurance and how much you can take on. It expands through regulation. There are moments that I realized this past year where I would have pushed and where I did push, and then I realized, oop, that doesn't feel good. Oop, I'm doing that out of scarcity. Oop, I'm doing that out of trying to force the timeline. But I chose then to pause and to realize, okay, where do I have the control and where do I not have the control? How can I co-create this experience and do what is under my control, take the aligned actions that are in my control, and then surrender to the rest? I've chose nervous system support instead of the hustle. This is where my capacity is built, because before I used to hustle and it was in doing that I felt safe in my body, and now I feel safe in my body to feel like not everything has to be rushed or done right away. I'm choosing to do things in a very intentional, aligned way. I have let things unfold instead of forcing these timelines. Before, this is the trap that we fall into as visionaries, as creatives, as genius leaders that we are. We tend to want to force the timelines because we're like, I got this. I'm being so strategic about it. Okay, if I plan this out, if I charge at this price point, if I do this kind of content, then I want to force the timeline to make this amount of money in this launch. And when you are forcing those timelines, that is not you co-creating with God or with the universe or with source. That is you tightening the reins. And then that's when you do not get your desired outcomes. So I've allowed to feel safety in my body to, like I said, have control of the things that I have control of and allow things to unfold and for the external world to catch up instead of forcing the timelines. I believe that opportunities are going to come to me, clients are going to come to me in the right aligned time. And I know everything that I'm doing now that is in my power, that is showing the universe, yes, I am being a match. I am doing things consistently. I'm doing things in my truth. I'm not trying to force making a certain amount of money at a certain time. I'm just I'm just being a match. That's when shit happens. That is why it's so important to hold in your standards. My new standard is this is the way that I create my content. This is the way that I have my online containers. This is the way that I approach my work. This is the way I lead as a mother. This is the way that I decide on who I want to attract into my world. I didn't become a stronger leader by pushing harder. I became one by learning how to hold more without losing myself. That is true inner mastery. This is where the somatic wisdom comes through. When you can feel this like grounded certainty in your body, when you could say, I am holding this standard, even though it feels like, oh my gosh, my older self would have never said yes to calling in this higher caliber client. My older self would have never said yes to charging this amount. My older self would have never been able to hold doing an in-person retreat. But your newer version of you can. Your newer version of you can hold those things without losing yourself. But that comes into play with the nervous system mastery aligned with your standards that you're holding. Your standards are structural integrity. They don't make you rigid, they make you stable. Your standards are rooted in your core values and your beliefs. So, for example, my belief now is I am not a people pleaser anymore. I still pour my heart into the work that I do and I give to others, but not from a people pleasing way, not to be chosen, not to be liked, to be an ideal match for the ones that are the ones for me. So with that, I outgrew rooms that once felt aligned to me because the rooms I was in before were an aligned match for my older identity. But my new identity, I outgrew those rooms and I had to be okay with being in this solitude space where the newer people that are supposed to come into my life, the newer opportunities that are going to be attracted in, they're going to be in alignment with my new identity. So I had to feel that grief that was involved with outgrowing the rooms that I once felt aligned with. I am being so real with myself and in integrity with what I choose for myself, my energetic boundaries, my standards that I have to protect my energy. I'm okay with being in that middle where there's other people coming into my life who are maybe new friends. Maybe there are some friends that I outgrew. And that has been honestly one of the biggest things that I've grieved this past year is understanding who do I want to give my energy to? Who do I want to surround myself around? Because it's so important to be surrounded in your environment by the people that are going to elevate you and lift you up. And my energy, I'm very sensitive to people who are negative or who would pull me down, and I don't have any tolerance for them anymore. So you become less tolerant with the things that you tolerated before. And that's how you know you are shifting into your next identity, or you have shifted into your next identity. I no longer have to over explain my choices. Before, I would fear being misunderstood. I have gotten a lot of crap from my husband, from people in my family, through friends that knew me from, who I was before and who I am now. Like, what are you doing? Like, what is going on here? This is not the old you that I used to know. But I don't have to over explain my choices. I'm just so grounded in what I am doing and what choices I have made. And I don't have to explain it to you so that you understand. Because the ones that get it and understand, I could be so simple and direct with sharing what I'm doing. And they're going to say, yes, I see you. Yes, I see you. And that's what I chose to surround myself with this year. I decided to invest into a mastermind so that I was surrounded by those incredible human beings who say, yes, I see you, without me feeling like I had to over explain myself to be liked, to be loved. No, they just get it. And those are the people that I want to continue to be around. I have to be okay with fewer conversations, fewer opinions, fewer obligations right now. Because if it is not this, okay, in the 10x is easier than 2x book, Benjamin Hardy talks about you make these new standards for yourself, you keep and hold these standards, and nothing but this. And he shares a story of how Michelangelo was creating the David, and he was focusing on just creating the David. Nothing that wasn't him creating the David, he did not do it daily. Daily, he created the David, and it ended up being a masterpiece. So I know the fewer conversations I have are going to be more potent and more aligned with who I am and fuel me up. The fewer options and opportunities that come in for me are going to be the aligned ones. The fewer obligations that I have are going to be the ones that are going to move the needle. This is why you must stay grounded and rooted in your new standards. And as my standards rose, my world got quieter. And for a while, it felt really uncomfortable because before, my older identity would constantly look for proof. Yes. Oh my God, I got that incredible client testimonial. Yes, people are saying amazing things. Yes, I'm getting an amazing feedback. Yes, I just got that successor accolade, until I realized it wasn't actually clarity. So there's that solitude, there's the void, there's that less validation, more of that grounded certainty with, like, who am I without the success? Who am I without the accolades, without the magazine features, without me being put on this pedestal? Who am I without the clients? Can I still believe in my greatness? Can I still believe that I'm fucking amazing and I know what I'm doing here? Like, this is it. This is a thing. This is a thing that just lights my fire and soul every day. Can I do that? Because so often we look for the external validation. But when you can have that internal validation, that is when you're a match. That is when you are a match for everything that you desire. So I know that this season, it's not loneliness, it is integration. Not having those immediate things that mirror my inner world and my outer world, I'm okay. I'm grounded. I feel safe in my body. I'm sitting with my own knowing that my success is inevitable. My identity is going to catch up with the outer growth. Leadership at this level, it doesn't need this constant feedback. It needs self-trust. And yeah, do we love when we see, the 111 on our phones, on our clocks? Do we love when we have like an animal sign? I'm big on like animal signs. Mine has been the heron in this season. And I just like, I love receiving signs from the universe. Like, don't dismiss those. Like, I love getting them, and they make us feel really good inside. But what if you can just have that self-trust within? Like, how empowering is that? How empowering is that? Because with the ebbs and flows in life, to have that power always, no matter what is happening, that is true inner power. The diamond standard of leadership is the ability to hold that increased pressure with the steadiness, to expand your capacity without abandoning yourself, and to lead from integrity instead of that intensity. Instead of wavering in, I feel like I should still be in this relationship because I kind of feel bad, like not allowing this person in my life because we have so much history together. It's saying a clean no, I do not stand for this anymore. I don't want this person in my life. I could even think about just like people in my community, neighbors, friends that I used to be close with, where I'm just like, I don't really resonate with you anymore. And you asked me to hang out, I'm going to be really selective of when and if we do hang out. And I'm okay with that. I am leading from integrity instead of, oh, I feel bad. What if this person thinks this? What if this person thinks that? I don't care. I'm protecting myself and my energy. This standard is the foundation of the iconic woman, of the iconic woman collective that I am cultivating here. It is not to push women harder, but to support them in holding who they are becoming in real time. So I want you to reflect on these questions. Where are you feeling pressure right now? Is it asking for more effort, or is it asking for more capacity? What would it look like to meet this season with steadiness instead of force? Because diamonds, they are not formed in chaos. They're formed through that steady pressure over time. And leadership is no different. If this episode resonated and you could feel that you are just standing at the edge of your next level of capacity, your next level of success, your next level of evolution, what's really holding you back, the things that we need to remove, the things that we need to amplify in your next expansion. Where do we have to create safety in your body? What are some old past traumas and things that still live in your body that we have to remove, rewire, and create a new story? And recalibrate your direction with that clarity and that integrity and that truth within. This is where we work together over time to stabilize your leadership, expand your capacity, and build something that actually holds long term without the burnout, without sacrificing out. More wealth, more impact, more visibility. This is what will happen. More fulfillment, right? This is what will happen naturally as you build safety within your body, as you expand your capacity, your external world, all these things are going to happen for you. The aligned opportunities, all the things. If you feel that pull, reply through the link in the show notes. And if this episode supported you, I'd love for you to share it with another woman who might need this reminder, or leave a review so this message can reach the women who are quietly questioning themselves right now and the standards that they're holding. You are building something real. You are a diamond. You are a unique diamond. It's time to remember who the fuck you are, icon. Love you. Mwah.